Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in. So, today I want to talk to y'all about how the decisions that we've made, how they have affected the life that we envisioned for ourselves versus the reality of where our lives are at now, right? So, do y'all remember when we were younger, right? We was in school and they were like, so what do you want to be when I grow up? I'm like, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a firefighter, right? Whatever it was we wanted to be when we was kids. And then as you grow up, that usually changes and it evolves as you find out that like there's more than just being a doctor or a lawyer. There's a million other things you could be and do with your life. So of course that changes, and then you get to college and you're like, okay, boom, I'm majoring in this because that'll help me get to here where I want to be, right? So think about where you are right now. At this exact moment, as you're listening to this, how many of us can honestly raise our hands and say, hey, what I had planned for my life, starting back to maybe when I was 17 years old, I went to college for this. I now do this as a profession. This is everything that I envisioned. I made every right decision to get to where I wanted to be. How many of us can say that, right? I can't. And again, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people who can, but the vast majority of us, we cannot, right? So I once heard a quote that says that our lives are a direct representation of every single decision that we've ever made, right? So meaning that every decision that we've ever made in our life has brought us to this point right now. It's brought you right here to this point. While you're here watching this video, every decision that you made has brought you right here to watch me telling you that this is where you've been with the decisions, right? So what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to take a second, right? Let's take a minute and let's evaluate. Are you happy here? Are you just content? Can you be doing more? Should you be doing less? Do you hate it here? I don't know, right? I want you to take a second and think about those things because that's important. And the reason why I say it's important is because I want us to think about the decisions that led us to where we are, right? Most of us, we wonder if we would have made a decision 10 years ago or we would have made a different decision than we made, would we be closer, further, worse off? Like how would one little decision have altered where we are, right? So I remember when I was younger, right? When I was younger, like back in my early 20s, like I used to be very indecisive. I was so super indecisive because I would analyze every decision, right? So I would be like, okay, if I do this, what are the consequences to that? Or if I do this, how will that affect me? So that whole thought process enabled me to make a decision. I was terrible, right? So when I got married, my husband always used to tell me, even to this day, he tells me, if you make a decision, stand on that decision 110%, right? Whether it's the right decision or it turns out to be the absolute worst decision ever in life, stand on it. You got to stand on it. You got to own it. You have to stand and own on what you decide for yourself, right? And for a long time, I was like, you right. Whether it's wrong, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm going to stand on what I make, the decisions I make. But now I see that there might be, a little bit of a loophole in that philosophy. And here's why, right? So let's say we make a decision and that decision don't pan out the way I wanted it to, right? 9 times out of 10, when you say I'm gonna own this decision, you're gonna own it. You're gonna own all that comes with it and you're gonna stand on it, right? But what if we make a bad decision and we say, oh, maybe I decided wrong? Let me correct that decision, right? How many of us really go back and correct decisions that were wrong? Because I know I don't or I haven't in the past. I would own that decision. If whatever consequences came with it, I was going to eat it, right? But why do we have to eat the consequences, right? Why can't we say, okay, that wasn't right. That wasn't the right decision. Let me fix it, right? At what point do we say, let me go back and adjust some things so that way I can get on the path that I need to be on? And that's really what, the point that I want to give you guys is that we don't have to be stuck in these decisions. We can own what we have. So if you are not on the path or you're not in the life you think you wanted to live, you still have time to make it right. You can change those decisions. You don't have to eat that. If something didn't pan out and you just like, well, this is where I'm at. This is, how my life panned out. I'm going to just live with it. If you want to live with it, absolutely cool. That's fine. But if you like, you know what, I still want that. Like, I still dream about, the goals that I had back then. And, I still want that from my life. You can absolutely have it. You have to make the right decisions. Right? So again, I want to encourage you, don't eat that decision. Yeah, you may have to eat it in the moment because, for every action, there's a reaction. We understand that. So at the moment, you might have to eat whatever consequences come with that decision. But if that don't get you to the life you envision for yourself, change it. Make a new one. Figure out how to get back on that path. I just want to encourage you guys, do not let the decisions you've made, whether they were good, bad, or indifferent, enable you from achieving the things that you want to achieve. Because, listen, as long as you still breathing, it's never too late. It's never too late to right them wrongs. So I thank y'all for tuning in. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have. So until next time, thank you guys.